Hello everybody, Zelfie here, and today I wanted to do a deck profile for Tinkaton EX. While I was scouring for like pre-release lists and all this stuff, I noticed that there's quite a few people like posting a few lists about Tinkaton EX, but not a whole lot. But a lot of them seem to go off that Justin Basil list that was first shown during like his pre-release testing streams, which used a Zoroark engine. The only other like differentiating list I saw was like Squavette Altaria with Brandon, which I don't think we need to go that far. But ultimately, I was trying out the Zoroark list. I was like, something feels missing. It feels a bit clunky. And so I started to look for other alternatives, and that is where we came across the Rotom here, which allows you to draw 3 cards on your first turn. I found it was really hard to get off the ground in the Zoroark version because you have so many moving pieces, but ultimately I kind of don't feel like you need it. The only time I feel like you go Zoroark is if you're really trying to crank out more of these, but really you can get by with just one of these. I actually feel like this deck has a lot of flexibility because, despite this attack, the one that you're aiming for being Big Hammer, which is 30 times the amount of cards in your hand, I feel like despite that being like a driving goal and a reason you want to play the deck, it's not the only reason to play it too. Another example is that you get to see so much of your deck at once. You usually have a lot of options. That's why we're able to play such a diverse supporter line here. We're mostly looking at like Boss's Orders, Roxanne, Thorton, Worker being like our alternative options. The Worker helping a lot when we have to go against like Temple SIT, for example. On top of that, we also have the Milotic. So this helps you to protect your hand against Judge or Roxanne or Iono, who is the brand new one here. Lowers our hand size down. It allows you to just not get screwed over by those, especially like against Gardevoir, for example, when you actually need to maintain that high amount of attack so you can pressure the opposing Gardevoir EXs. Another thing that I didn't notice about any of the American list was that there's no reversal energy in there. It kind of sucks because, he's not the meatiest guy in the world, especially for stage 2, only having 140 HP is kind of low. But he does do 180 damage, which means he can take out other threats on the field. He can trade pretty well to a Kramer if you happen to be down. There's a lot of helpful tools that you could be using here. And even then, even if the reversal energy is turned off, you can just attach a basic Psychic and you still got that 180 damage. So it's a great way to shove a single prizer into a matchup swing or, just put pressure on them. It's helped a lot against Guardy too, because they'll usually put out like the baby Gardevoirs, and this is where like Special Hammer can come into play. So I'd really consider that the thick supporter line, the reversal energies, and the Rotom to be something that is currently undervalued at Tinkaton list. And I want to showcase that a little bit here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys around. Hello everybody, Zelfie here, and we're gonna go over the matches here. I got like 3 games. I thought the games were pretty good because they're against the decks I actually want to be facing. I didn't talk about this, but I felt like it had a pretty good matches for general. I felt like I've lost those every time in Skim PAL, which does suck, especially because the deck I'm right now is getting really popular. Against like Gardevoir, which people are just like, they'll make a crap right now. It's been doing really well. I played 10 matches? No, I played 12 matches. No. I've won 12 games against Gardevoir, and then I've lost 2, so I'm like 12 and rank against Gardevoir. Which is sick. I actually haven't done that badly against the last one sided. Like sometimes the scramble energy on the Tinkaton just really helps. Anyways, we're going against Beach Court here, and I get a pretty good lead here. I'm not choosing to go for Radiant Jirachi. I just want to set up everything. My bench space is already pretty occupied, and my line of play is probably set up the Milotic, and then trying to get 2 new Feebas KOs with the Tinkaton EX. That's usually my line here. I also don't know if it's like the future energy build or not, but I don't think it really matters. The deck does play copies of Escape Rope, which I think makes the what's his name? Makes the Radiant Jirachi a lot worse. People like just panic over that fucking card, by the way. They see a Radiant Jirachi and just don't know what to do. Like they just use to attack it, they give a turn, say try to swap out, they waste Boss's Orders. It's really, really funny how absurd it gets. He's able to hit the second Granite here, which allows him to grab VIP Pass. I think. Yeah. So he's able to get set up like pretty well here. And I still have quite a ways to go. I don't really have like my Milotic set up or any of my other Pokemon. So So I'm just like struggling here. We do see that skip rope. I decide, we'll just sacrifice the Tinkatink because we can get the other one up later. I believe it is going to cards. One of the really nice things on Rotom is just how often it's forced cards out of the opponent's hand. Like, oh, I have to play this Iota instead of like this other support card that takes out my gameplay. That's crazy. Against Mew, it's like weird. As long as you get the Milotic set up like decently early, you should be fine because they are just a path deck basically. Trying to screw you out. Also, going first here helps so much. We got a Milotic, we get that. I'm trying to determine what else I need. I like thinking about the Colress, but I figured we're gonna draw 3 cards at the end of the turn anyways, so we might as well just go for something else. I take a card here anyways as a for the Tinkatuff. I should have probably searched it out earlier to see if it's there, but it's fine. But yeah, the reason why I don't go for the Colress there instead of the was one, I thought the Tinkatuff would help, and two, is the fact that I thought the Rotom might draw me into a resource that can support the next turn. There's like a lot of them here that I feel comfortable playing, so just basically that. We'll just see some draws here. See if I'm just trying to figure out their game plan. If I were them, I'd probably be trying to take out that Rotom because like, I'm either attacking next turn, which is bad, or I'm gonna I can't remember what the name is called. They used to call it Intrepid Sword, but just the name of Rotom's ability is escaping me right now. But basically, I'd probably take that off the field before it's gone, but they don't really get the chance. They just go ahead and take a knockout there, and I get to set something up. I set the Manaphy because I'm not exactly sure if I'm like totally ready to commit, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. So I go ahead, evolve my Tinkaton, and I sort of game this draw setup online. Go here, I hit, it's good update. It's like, I have the time to stall out a little, leave the Rotom there just up, but I choose to be a little greedy and go for the draw 3. Even if the Rotom gets taken down, I believe I still have a path to victory. It just involves killing 2 using axes, or stopping them from using it. Even if they kill the like Rotom on this turn, which is very much possible. If they do that, then I'm like solid to just take the Reg KO against the Mew. But you know, I'm a little scared here. I feel like I'm playing from a little behind. As he actually goes for the big Tinkaton, which is like extremely shocking to me. It's like, oh no, you want to be taking prizes? I guess he's not aware that I'm playing crap, so I can bump the Rotom. But he does knock out my draw engine there, which is a little messed up. But ultimately, I still have like I need. I get to like Rare Candy up into my Tinkaton here, and I'm looking around and see what we got. I catch how much damage it was. Oh, it's like exactly 10. So I could have like forced those stuff, grab a supporter here, but I decided just to take the knockout. The only sad part is sometimes you're like, oh, I can't play this card now. But we did take 3 prizes there, which is super solid for us. And the Mew goes down to play. And I don't think Battle VIP is going to have an easy knockout on us, because there was a fusion strength on the Mew pass for some reason, which does allow us to take advantage of the fact that the Battle VIP can only hit for 210. Still scary that I have this Rotom on the bench, but hopefully we can pop it soon. As my opponent's just trying to get more set up. I think like play down the Milotic or the Deoxys is kind of sus. I'm not sure if they do a matchup there too. No, they did, because they had to get all that stuff off of the VIP pass. Yeah, I'm gonna take some chip damage here, but once again, that's perfectly fine. I'm checking to see how much damage I'm doing to figure out like how many cards I'm allowed to play. Colress like significantly helps. I'm wondering like, oh, should I like force heal some for a boss orders or something like that? I just end up, no, I don't need it. I take all the Pokemon here because they're just good at like getting stuff off the bench. I attach that there, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off. I believe I'm gonna go ahead and grab a Rare Candy. Yeah, get the other dude set up. Because we're so far ahead right now that it's basically impossible for us to lose. I also think I misplayed. I think I should have put down the Collapsed instead of a Beach Energy there, because that still gives him like out to win somehow, right? It's very unlikely, but still, I just would have preferred if we did. We're gonna see the new VMAX come out, so he's probably going to try and support KO against my Tinkaton EX in the active. This is like the best part, because I feel like Tinkaton's like endgame is like fucking stupid. Like people are scared about like Zacian popping for 300. This motherfucker is every card in his deck, and then also like it does 300. I think that's what makes it like super strong to me. Is that your late game is pretty much unrivaled in terms of like your damage output, and then even then you just have like a really good draw engine, so you have access to the rest of your deck. Milotic is so nice because everyone's just like relying on Iona, Roxanne to carry them through these like game stages. It's not like they want to boss up a Milotic, right? That's just like fucking sus. The most I can say is like if Carnivore doesn't pick out Radiant Ninja, they could like sell you 670 and do 120 to it, but it just seems unlikely. Yeah, I'm just gonna send out the fucking big boy. I'm gonna click the fucking button, beat the shit out of this dude. Yeah, 430 damage. I tried to keep going back, but it just won't let me. It's so sad. Yeah, so it's so fucking funny. Anyways, this is against a Rook deck. This deck is like sort of cute because it reminds me of Rapid Strike Palmer, and the deck we're going against Jacq SVI. It's a lot more specific. Unfortunately, but I mean, we are getting a new card in Obsidian Flames that says when you're knocked out, you get to search your deck for 30 energies. Like, that's so lit. That's so good for this deck. Anyways, we start Bird, who's honestly not the worst lead, especially against, you know, at this point in time, I'm presuming it's Carnivore. Actually hit heads for what's on the Capturing Aroma. I was like, I don't know what to grab. We'll just grab the Spotlight, because ultimately, I'm probably gonna set another pass here to try and protect my stuff. play out Nest Balls, grab the Tinkatuffs, or Tinkatinks, or whatever the fuck it's called. We have the Rotom in our hand, so prioritizing the Milotic seems pretty good to me, because like it just turns off like the Iota stuff, right? Makes it so Iota beat, oh well, right? I'll still get 6 cards anyways, so it's not the end of the world. And we ended up having a Worker and a Tinkaton EX in our hand as well. That can help a lot, so I basically got like everything I need to start attacking. If I wanted a Rare Candy for the, or 4 Seal stuff for the Rare Candy. It's like definitely possible here. It's just a matter of like how much do I actually want to put down play. When shoot out valid. I see the Shriddle here, and I like look back at his screen and like, oh, is this thing? Puts out Path of the Peak, which really doesn't bother me all too much. It does suck that like it sits off a road, but hey, we have the Worker here. What are good cards, right? I'm trying to think about like what other cards I want here. I know we're slamming down Milotic right now. I think because of how slow of a start they're taking, I'm just gonna go ahead and place a charge here. I also touch a Force Zone. That's like technically I can get knocked out, but like I feel like the cards are really aligned. They don't have like a draw engine right now. They don't have like any cards in their hand, so I feel like the chances of me getting knocked out here is very unlikely. They have to have 5 different energies, plus the Grafai, plus the Swap Out, plus the Dark Energy to attach with like it's just so out of range. So I'm gonna take the top to grid it out. And people want to play like fucking Zoroark, right? Rotom is the sauce, man. Rotom with Milotic, like that's so good. Just because like you get so much early game advantage, you just turn that into like making steamroll. Because they don't have like any ways of finding your comeback mechanic besides killing the Milotic, and that just sucks, right? Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get the Tinkatop EX out. I'm gonna play the double turbo energy here, though I think playing the scramble energy might have been better because I feel like I'm not gonna be behind at any point in this match. And if I am, I think something is called like horribly fucking rough. I don't think the scramble energy is gonna fix that. So I think I should have saved the double turbo energy there, but it's fine. It's pretty inconsequential at the end of the all. We end up taking the KO against the KO, it's fine. Like, ultimately, killing any of these dudes would be fine. So I guess killing the Fate that, like, helps to search out cards right now helps. I don't really have too much else to add on because he's just, like, desperately trying to get ahead. He probably, like, has found some cards, but he just doesn't have the tools really accessible to him to find this KO. I don't even know if he can get the KO. It's 40 times 8, so you can hit 8 times 4. 280? Wow. I'm just, like, so barely out of reach. Yeah, so we're like perfectly fine here. He's always gapping up for 2 games. He has the starting 3 energies there, which is fine. And I'm just looking around, trying to think if there's anything I need to grab specifically. And now, so I'll just take the 3 cards of Colress. That's the best part about Colress is that you just get to filter out through a lot of cards. There's a lot of tech cards here, like I talked about before, like the one of supporters, museums, and all that stuff. And just like also early game cards. That's what like makes that feel good because you can just chuck it out with your draw engine. It's so sick. Goodbye VIP passes, goodbye Jacq. You know, all this stuff that we like really don't need. Go ahead and grab the Tinkatink. I think I was looking for a Tinkatuff there, or just another basic Tinkatuff. The gate all 4 of the dudes out is pretty good, as we're hitting for a overkill about 310 damage. So yeah, we're cooking. My opponent just like doesn't have the resources now. Like if they put down a Shriddle, I can just boss it up and prevent them from like, moving along again. I can also kill the Purlia to try and knock out like their draw engine. They got a rescue carrier. That's like one of the cute things about this, as opposed to Malamar, is that you can rescue carrier the Grafai and the Shriddle out. I think Malamar was like 120, so you barely couldn't do that. But, you know, cute stuff, cute stuff. Keep drawing, attaching. Got a lady there, which is pretty impressive. Grabs 4 different types of energies. But I don't know if he's got anything else that helps him out here. No. So I'm just gonna go ahead, discard the VIP Pass, get more cards, try to figure out more of a game plan, pump that up, mix it up. Gonna just boss it up. I think I should attach the reversal energy to maybe take it down, because then I can set it up for damage, but it's not like, I don't know, like it's just so good right now. And maybe there's a purpose to saving it. Go ahead and, you know, just fall into a bad situation. Discards the Grafai, like desperately trying to look for something else. I guess the Gridage is kind of cute in this deck, because if you got like superior energy treatment, he sets all the energy up in there. Cool. If he's just playing cards right now, doesn't really have a game plan going on. But he catch, okay. Yeah. Oh, and one of the other reasons why I don't like the Zoroark build is because like your early game's already scuffed enough as it is. Like you're like, I'm using fucking Radiant Jirachi just to try to find like something to do in the early game besides like sit there. It's like, you know, you can't really attack, so you just gotta rely on the I cannot remember the name of Rotom's ability for life of me, but you just relied on the free draw 3, right? They can't be attacking, so temporary Jirachi's up. With the Zoroark decks, like sure they do run the Jirachi, but they're not like doing anything else. Like especially the list I've seen, they're running the 70 HP Tinkatinks. Tinkatink, I think. There's a lot of Tinkaton going on. But they're not even running the collect one, so like you can't even pay an energy and draw a card. They're just so weak, right? Because what else are you doing? Like you definitely don't feel good by attaching a double turbo energy to a Jirachi and trying to attack with it, right? And that just seems really, really dumb. I think if you're doing that, like something that's gone horribly wrong here. Anyway, basically, using up my cards here. I'm saving the worker in case they drop out. Never mind, I don't. But yeah, we're just playing out cards here. And anyways, I'm gonna hit 50 coins here. Boo! This doesn't do anything. I'm not expecting it to do anything either. I just think it's like fucking hilarious. That I ended up in the spiel rant about using that. We got Iota here, which is pretty good because we didn't play a whole lot there. We ended up finding a lot more usable cards here. The Rogue's a good start. So is the Colress, and possibly the Beach Court. But I think I want to save the stadium in case I ever have to bump the 8 full Sinnoh, because I know a lot of these are still running POS, which is the biggest part. We see the Sky Seal Show drop because, you know, we're not going to be putting down any B-stars or anything. And the primary thing I'm looking for is just like maybe Rare Candy to maybe Tink. I don't think I need the big Tinkers right now. Maybe it'd be good to start swinging and just start killing stuff, right? I'll just set the back a little. And presuming that this is still Gardevoir, which I saw Sky Seal Show is, we should be fine. I've also want to talk about like some text I thought about including. Also, this Force Seal Set is so good because it allows me to just send anything else after this. So we're going to go ahead and slam all this down. My hand size is like decently low right now. And the basic psychic is probably like the worst energy in the deck. But, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and I think we're taking out Tinkatuff. If not, I was going to take out another Tink. That's fine. We'll just instant charge. There we go. Finally remember the name of the stupid ability. Getting Iota or Judged was up here, but it's fine because we can just ultimately search out any piece that we were missing with the Rotom, and we can possibly hit something else here. Like, we landed right into Rare Candy, which will help us out because now we can just grab like a Tinkaton off of something, like pull out a Jacq for the deck, or I don't know. There's so many cards here that can help. Our hand just ended up being pretty solid into this, especially if we end up killing the Jirachi this turn, which is entirely possible. People are just like so scared of attacking this card. I kind of get it, right? It is pretty threatening to give your opponent any free cards they want, especially when they're a huge set deck like this. But at the same time, like, you can't just ignore it forever. Like, if you just let your opponent set up, like, I believe my late game will be better than your late game, which is why we run the Radiant Jirachi. It's that sort of gamble that you're forcing the opponent to take. I don't think they understand or see the deck enough to, like, notice it, right? Or if they have, they've seen, like, bad versions of the deck, hopefully, right? That'd be my philosophy. Anyways, I'm hovering over Level Ball here like a dummy who's not paying attention to where his mouse is. Probably looking on Twitter and stuff. Oh, right, the other cards I was thinking about including is I thought about including the Mawile that has the retreat locking ability, because I feel like you maybe solve some matchups like that. That said, we do draw a fuck ton of cards, so I don't know how likely it is we will be in a situation where our opponent is ahead of cards and they don't have a switching option. But it's a card I thought about including. If you do include that, you can also think about like including like Fog Crystal or Celebration View. The original version that I saw of this deck had a Celebration View, but I just like was literally never using it. I put a Beach Court in its place. Like, the Beach Court would be good View, but I don't have any other cards I felt comfortable taking out in exchange for it. I suppose you could remove like a Jacq, but I think having 2 Jacks is like fine, because it's definitely like one of the better supporters you can be playing early on. So having 2 copies of it, it just like, grabs you Milotic at Tinkaton. But we have so many Tinkaton states. Maybe you just need one. We're gonna get our draw good online and start beating the shit out of it. I'm checking my hand size here. I misplay here as well, but we'll talk about it in a second. I grabbed, you know, just on like a guard so I don't need the Rotom. I forget the Gardevoir is damaged. I see 310. I just click it. Silly me. Please put down the Milotic there. Remember that they already put damage on them. Anyways, yeah. After that unfortunate blunder, it means I can't get Iota and please my hand, which would suck if they put down another Gardevoir, but getting that KO there is like so good for me. Also, did they just like put down a worker and not get rid of the stadium? Okay, no, they just what's it called? But yeah, I get Iota because I forget that Gardevoir already put damage on it. So whoops, just remember to do that next time. It'll save you so much hassle. The opponent's just gonna continue thinning out more cards in their deck and trying to get more setup. But I think it's really, really hard to find a return knockout against me right now. Even if they just put like chip damage, I'll be like, okay, that's fine. Just because more things being put on the play, I think he's just gonna attack the Gardevoir again. Just really trying to run his face in every problem. But I mean, it's understandable, right? Because I let myself get fucking Iota there. But it's okay, because in this video, I can show you how to come back from a really, really bad misplay. He's also going to this one, which is funny, because now he's got memory skippy. I kind of forgot about this too. So now he's just trying to be like super fucking frustrating. I don't really have an alternative play here. I was like looking at my offense here, it's like, so we'll go ahead, get rid of the Nest Ball. We don't really need it anymore. Because if I am gonna put down something, it's gonna be that take it by hand. It's like, what would we do? And I remember, oh yeah, we run a Psychic Energy, so I go ahead, search my deck, hope the Psychic Energies in there. I know we lost that one earlier, I believe. It's fine, yeah. We attach that, and then we just go for the Pulverizing Giver. Also, my hand size doesn't really matter this turn, so I'm just gonna, like, try to grab out cards, so grabbing the Milotic sounds pretty good, because I would hate to be Iono'd into a environment. I also think I'm gonna play the, I'm doing this turn to knock out, like, a possibility of, like, a Shiny Armada coming out, so now it puts more stress on them to find a solution. And the solution is like Rare Candy, Shiny Arcana, and then high rolling everything with you. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that boss play. You could have gone for Jacq because it just gets 2 cards out of the deck and goes to you, and it improves your draws in the future. That's the big thing, is trying to figure out like whether or not you fucking keep the cards in your hand, or you play them out to try and draw more cards. Because eventually, you might even consider playing Roxanne. I know it's funny, the inside deck is like, oh, you know, we should play Roxanne, but yeah, it's just big. Because it helps in the Lost Box matchup. That's about matchup we're running it for. It's not like usually for any of these other decks, though. It can be. Like if you want to try to stuff Gardevoir out of a boss draw, we could possibly do that. They're gonna go ahead and super up more cards in. The Level Ball is going. I don't know if they have Curly left. They're just gonna grab another rolls. And they finally put that as AC too. There's a Shiny Arcana. So maybe they go for like a 2 KO here, or they actually have enough damage. Actually, now that I remember this, I'm not checking the retreat, but they have like 8 energies in there. I think we're gonna check it in a second. We're just gonna attach 2 energies there. It's like, oh, why you stop it? It's AC afterwards. Yeah, so they have so many fucking energies in there, which means that I have to find like an attacker soon. And I'm trying to wonder like, oh, what am I gonna find? What's easier to find? I'm already thinking about this. Is it gonna be easier to find the Scramble energy, or is it gonna be easier to find the Rare Candy? Because that'll determine like who I send up here in this situation. I'll have the Beach Court in my hand, so I would get that luxury option, choosing both. I think I end up saying the baby dude up right now, as he is going to take 2 prizes here. We're reading up again. It's kind of crazy how close this game was for how much he let me set up, but I guess it's also the Gardevoir main raid. I'm thinking about it, and yeah, we're just gonna go with this route. I already have most of the pieces I need, and then we just top deck it anyway, so like, lol, Lamau even. Go ahead and grab the 2 Tinkatons out of the deck, and draw some cards. I get rid of the Collapse because I just ultimately understand that, hey, there's no way they're gonna like double box the like game, right? They're definitely gonna try to go through the Tinkaton. And if they do, like, that's just so much stress on them. And thankfully this AC put so much damage on itself that it was able to be knocked out easily without a huge hand size. We got the Scramble energy, which like literally doesn't matter anymore. It can be used to attach to it. But that's basically all we got there. I'm struggling to find like what to put up here because this is a fresh Tinkaton, and like if things are going super well, I can just like boss up, or I can drop more cards. So you know, my opponents back up into a corner. They're like terrified. We do see the real which is pretty scary. So I still don't know if they can reach like the number of the KO with the damage they've already put on. I mean, this is where we need the big basket or the Champions Festival. You know, this broken card of the game. And they just end up forfeiting there, so yeah, that was a good game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys do, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll post more decklist, maybe, if I feel like it.